All right, I want to say welcome to everybody out there. You're watching Amateur Radio Roundtable, a show about ham radio, amateur radio, shortwave, and electronics, anything kind of associated with that. Sometimes we get into all kinds of things out there. Hey, we might even open the phone lines tonight and let our viewers out there call in and ask questions. I don't have a whole lot of things scheduled for tonight, although I got a couple of kind of neat things I want to show you. But we'll open the phone lines. We can take up to 1,000 simultaneous calls. We've never load tested the system to see if we could take 1,000 calls at one time, but we're supposed to be able to. I'd be happy if we could get just 5 calls at one time tonight. That would be kind of cool. So we're going to see if we can do that tonight. Let's see. So if you're out there listening on shortwave on 7490 on WBCQ, world famous WBCQ out of Monticello, Maine. Monticello, Maine. That's right up on the border between Maine and Canada there. Tell us where you're hearing it, how you're hearing the station, where you are. Well, you may be in you may be in the UK, over in Great Britain or England or Wales or somewhere over there. I think we got pretty good coverage over that way. You may be down in Mexico. I don't know. Send us an email. Let us know where you are and how you're hearing the station. You can send that email to Tom at w5kub.com, and I'll respond back to you. Love to hear from you. If you will, hit the subscribe button on the YouTube page there. It should be right down there somewhere. I'm trying to help you out a little bit, pointing toward it. If you're watching us on Facebook or on Twitter, you're not going to see that. But if there's a way to subscribe or something on Facebook and Twitter, go ahead and do it anyway. We'd love to have you do that. Also, if you will, click the notify button and click the like button. It helps us to get our shows more known in the YouTube community out there. Facebook will help us to promote it. The more people that click on that. We're on just about every podcast carrier out there. We're on things like iTunes, iRadio, and iHeart, Tumblr, all those. So you can listen anytime to our show. Again, we're on WBCQ. They've got I think they've got now the largest rotatable shortwave antenna in North America. And they usually sometimes they run 500,000 watts with that antenna. It has a lot of gain, and it comes out like, oh man, I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. It comes out like gigawatts almost, man. You don't want to be standing in front of that thing a mile away, man. Okay, let's see what else. What am I forgetting here? So join us on our Facebook group. Our Facebook group is just called W5KUB. Click on that. Do a search on Facebook just for W5KUB, and it'll bring you to our group. We've got about 14,000 people in that group now, and we'd love to have you join that group. It's about, again, electronics, shortwave, ham radio, whatever you want to talk about. We got a bunch of great guys in there. We've never had any problem in that group. And one thing, I get a lot of people sending me a friend request. Let me just say again, guys, I usually don't accept friend requests on Facebook because we got 14,000 people in our group, and I don't want my personal Facebook group to have 14,000 people in it. I'm keeping it more for family. It's very small. But if you want to get in touch with me, just come to the W5KUB Facebook group. And I heard Handy talking. Was that here or there? Well, that must have been at Brett's house. Was that at your house, Brett?
Yes, that was my rig, which is sitting here on the local repeater. I'll mute so.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I just have so many things going on here at my house. Usually I don't know where those sounds are coming from, to tell you the truth. But anyway, hey, I don't even know what I was talking about. Hey, join our Facebook group. Again, that's where you can find me on W5KUB. So don't feel bad if I don't friend you on my personal page. It's just I don't want 14,000 people on my personal page. In fact, I hardly ever go to my personal page unless I see a notification that a family member has posted something. Then I'll go to it there. So let's do this. I want to see how Glenn's been doing. Now, Glenn moved a week ago, and they didn't bring his furniture or clothes to him for about a week. So it looks like he's got a clean shirt on tonight, and he looks like he's rested up. How you doing, Glenn?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm not really rested up.
You're not rested up?
No, I have been working my butt off to unpack once they got my stuff here. I was told that it was going to be same day or next day delivery.
Yeah.
7 days later, I got my stuff.
All right. Well.
And so we're getting there slowly but surely, as you can see.
Well, you're looking good tonight. I never have been. I never have really thought much about taking your underwear and turning it inside out and wearing it for a couple more days. But I guess in an emergency, I guess you do that, right?
Well, fortunately, I had a friend here in town that once the situation occurred, they offered to do a load of laundry for me. So I pretty much had clean clothes throughout. Okay. The issue really was furniture.
Yeah.
I thought I had left a camping chair here to sleep in, and apparently I did not.
Oh, gee.
Yeah, and same thing with the old house. So I ended up sleeping on the floor a night or two. And believe it or not, I had a blanket, but believe it or not, the floor actually felt good on my back for the first night or two.
Mm.
And so it wasn't that bad, believe it or not. And then I went and bought me a folding cot, and that was my go-to for a couple days. And then, of course, the bed finally came a week ago. And slowly but surely been keeping stuff together and finding things. All in all, there's like 125 boxes to be unpacked. I had that much stuff coming from a 5-bedroom house to a 3-bedroom house.
Yeah.
So a lot of downsizing. The Arduino lab is being relocated to the garage, and that's going to be last. But as you can see, I do have a PC going. The one behind me there is the new one I had hoped to get up, but I haven't found the boxes that contain the processor and stuff yet. These are not my normal headphones. These are the only ones I could find that had decent audio.
Well, I think they sound good. They sound
somewhere in the garage.
Yeah, they're sounding good. So are you gonna use your garage for your Arduino stuff?
Yeah, I'm going to get one of those portable or, the ducted type air conditioner units and put it in the garage for when I want to work out there with fold down workbenches and stuff.
So are you going to be one of these people that just use your garage for everything else and you don't ever put your car inside?
No, I was actually talking to someone about that tonight. The garage will be for one car, not both cars. Mm-hmm. Even as it sits, both cars would barely fit the garage. Mm. So I'm only going to set it up for one, and the other one can stay outside. But in the meantime, we're trying to get ready for Huntsville. I did not get the forum put together that I had hoped to this year. And I'm going back to Memphis tomorrow to mow the lawn, take care of the pool, and get another load. Believe it or not, there's still about 4 carfuls of stuff to haul over that I would not trust with the movers. And if you saw the condition of the boxes when they got here that the movers did handle, you understand why. Every box was crumpled.
Yeah, we of course when we moved, we had a few little things damaged or dinged, and wasn't happy.
Well, they broke both of my headboard things for the beds. We're dealing with that, and fortunately that's the only really broken things I have found to this point. But they were not real polite with my stuff.
Well, I read about that company, and it was specifically, it talked about headboards. There were a lot of entries, reports in there. And what they do, you probably didn't see it. They take your headboards and they lay them out there as a ramp, and then they take the two-wheeler and roll your refrigerator and stuff down that bed rail. Is what they do. The headboard
would not surprise me at all.
Yeah.
Actually, I know for a fact that even though they promised me same day, next day kind of deal, they actually unloaded the truck at a warehouse somewhere and then brought it 7 days later. So the stuff was unloaded and reloaded.
Oh, that's bad. Yeah.
And again, they promised me that would not occur. So me and them, they have actually are pulling all of the audio recordings of all of our conversations and all of the communications. And we are, I can best thing to say is we're having discussions about it.
I'd tell them, I said, man, if you don't pay me, $35 or $40, I'm going to sue.
It's going to be a little more than 35 or 40. It's probably closer to 50 or 60.
All right, now have you got your house up for sale down here?
Yes, it went for sale yesterday. It finally got listed. It's had a coming soon sign up for 2 weeks, but it actually got officially listed yesterday.
Okay. All right.
And it's already had 165 views and whatnot, so hopefully it'll go quickly.
Yeah. Yeah.
But now it's totally empty other than boxes that are out in the attic and whatnot that I put away because I just could not haul them. Because I had no clothes and stuff for 7 days, I wasn't able to go back and forth and get stuff as planned, because I'd planned to go back and forth every day to get the stuff I didn't trust them with.
Yeah, well, do you know my friend Sam Lehman?
No, it doesn't sound familiar.
He lives in Conway now. I mean, he used to live in West Memphis and over. I've known him for ever since we got our licenses, but he's moved over here. He asked about you the other day.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So K5 VBF, I think it's called. That's Sam. So he's over there somewhere close to you.
Interestingly enough, there is a ham 3 doors down.
Yeah.
I reckon, he's got a tower up and he's got his tag on the car. I don't recognize the call off the top of my head, but yeah. So there's a ham a couple doors down that I'm going to be meeting soon. I really have not had a chance to do much other than unpack and get organized and get squared away. And slowly but surely I'm digging out.
All right. Well, look, hey, in a little while, we're all three going to talk about Huntsville and some other things coming up here. Let's jump over to Brett there and see what he's got going. Come on in here, Brett. How you doing, man?
Yes. Hello, Tom. Yes, well, I'm eagerly getting ready for Huntsville and packing and preparing to go out there. I'll stop by NASA. I'm going to go up to Montesano to the POTA party, and then I will come down to the hamfest hoping to find more good stuff like I did last year. Maybe this time I'll even go and buy a bunch of raffle tickets and see whether my luck has changed, because usually I don't win anything in those raffles.
Well, it's a special fold it's a special sauce and a special fold that makes it happen here.
It's almost no reason to buy tickets when Tom's at the hamfest. He's going to win everything.
Hey, I was going to say something, Glenn. Hey, by the way, guys, the Embassy Suites still has rooms available. I don't know if you guys wanted to stay there or not, but
actually, I checked the other night, and if they do, they're at like $300 a night.
Oh, really?
Yes, they do have rooms. You're right, but they don't have them in the block, which is discounted for the Hamfest. If you want to get that, you might be able to do it at the Spring Hill Suites, which is it's across the river, so it's a couple of blocks walk. The Spring Hill Suites by Marriott. That's where I stayed last year, and it's also where I'm staying this year, because when I tried the Embassy Suites, I also found that the room block was full.
Well, I never go along with the room blocks there, because I could always just deal directly with them and get a cheaper rate than I could with the ham price. I don't know why. but I could always match that or get a better deal. But they may have like a 3-day minimum or something. I don't know.
They do. They have a 3-day minimum or 2-day minimum.
Yeah.
And I mean, I checked a few months ago, and I was already too late, and I tried again earlier this week, hoping there were some cancellations, and that's when I saw the almost $300 a night, and I said, the heck with this. I'm staying literally down by the Space and Rocket Center. I'm only staying for one night, so it's not that bad. But I gotta hit and run and come back because I got stuff going on Sunday here.
Well, I'm going down Friday, and we're gonna stay until Monday morning and leave Monday morning and head to North Carolina, and I'm going to go by the luggage place, the airline luggage place. What's the name of it? Do you know, Glenn?
Oh, I've heard of that.
Unclaimed baggage.
Yeah, the unclaimed baggage, man. Well, I'm going to go by there and see if I can't buy a bunch of stuff, man, and throw it, in the car. And that's going to be interesting. They're closed on Sunday, so that's the reason we're going to go by. We're going to head that way on Monday. Plus, that'll give us an entire day to go over to our home here in North Carolina. And it's on the way, actually. It's a straight line on the way. So even from Huntsville, it's about probably a 5 to 6 hour drive to our place in North Carolina. And then from there from our place in North Carolina, in 2 weeks, we'll be going on over to the Shelby Hamfest in Shelby, North Carolina. That's even further east. So anyway, hey, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys. And Jeff, we'll try to hit dinner again and just have some fun.
And if you're at the unclaimed luggage place, one thing which is of special interest to hams that they have a lot of is they have a lot of confiscated tools and of different kinds. If you want a Leatherman tool, which is one of the handiest tools on earth, especially if you're a tinkerer or a ham radio operator, they have a ton of them there, and they're inexpensive. So I'd recommend. That's one of the things I recommend you look into. I may even.
I'm not familiar.
Maybe you can pick up one for me.
I'm not familiar with Leatherman tool. Tell me a little more about that. What are they?
Okay, well, let me switch over to my other camera and I can show you. Here we are. Okay, here's my messy desk. This is a Leatherman tool. This is called the Leatherman Charge TI, which is their one which has a titanium shell around it. But they also have one called the Wave, which is just plain stainless steel. And you can see, you open this thing up, and it has a pair of really good needle nose pliers and a wire stripper right in here with replaceable blades, which I really like.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So I know what that is now. In fact, that's a good quality one you're talking about. So I've got a bunch of those that I haven't even opened yet, but they're not that brand. Let me show you what I've got here. And they're not just the greatest quality. I think this is similar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that looks like an MFJ branded. There are a lot of copies of the Leatherman tool.
Yeah, it's Yeah, I mean, it'd get you. Hey, if the enemy was attacking, that would help you for sure. But the one you just showed me, I bet it is high quality.
Yeah, this is one of the best. Leatherman and Gerber make the best tools of this kind. And you see here we've got a serrated knife. This is great for opening packages, and it has a cutting hook here, which is fantastic if you're a ham, especially, and you're dealing with zip ties. You're zip tying cables to a tower. This is really handy for cutting zip ties. It also has a file here, which is very, very handy. It's two-sided, and I just used that today to clean off some electrical contacts when I was installing a dryer. So that came in very handy for that. It also, the Leatherman tool in general also helped me put in all the screws and change the cord on the dryer, which I had to do to get it installed. And then inside you have the can opener. I don't even know why they have cans or bottle openers. I guess it's traditional, but I'm not sure why they have them anymore. There is a screwdriver here, which has Phillips and regular flat blade, but they have a whole set of other blades that you can get for this, and I carry the full set, so you can get not only Phillips but hex and Torx and all kinds of other things.
Yeah.
And then on the other side, it has a pair of really good little sharp scissors, and a big flat blade screwdriver, which is handy when you need a lot of torque, and finally an eyeglass screwdriver, which is also useful if you take it and you turn around. You see it has flat blade and Phillips, and the Phillips is actually good as, you can sort of use it as an awl if you need to puncture a hole in something. So this is just tremendously handy. I feel naked without my Leatherman tool in hand.
I agree.
I probably will pick me up one of those. I think, not that I have anything against this. I just think it's a much higher quality tool that you
I
got
like
there.
the titanium.
Yeah. So I'll look at. Oh my.
Because mine's stainless.
I don't even know what they've got there. I've never been there before, but I'm gonna check them out, man.
Yeah, it's that 4-inch blade, or however long that blade is, that gets you all in trouble at the TSA.
Now, I can't carry this on a plane as is. What I have to do is I have to put it in my luggage and then get it out as soon as I can.
Yeah.
There's another Leatherman tool though that I've worn on a plane. I've even worn it through the metal detector and through the scanners. And they let you carry that. So the thing that I do carry with me when I can't carry this is this little guy. This is a bracelet. It's called the Leatherman Tread. This is also made by Leatherman, and you can see it has the bottle opener here. And then each of the links of the bracelet has a little screwdriver blade or hex key blade on some of some kind. So here we have a Phillips head. Here we have a flat blade. Keep going, and then each of these links has a little socket in it, so that I can turn nuts and bolts.
Yeah.
And if you go around, there's all sorts of stuff on here. And then finally here, there's in case you need to, this is a glass breaking hammer. If you need to get out of a car in an emergency. And here's a really cool thing, which I'm surprised they let on the plane, but they do. This side has an awl, and this side is kind of a letter opener. It's you hook this into under the flap of an envelope, and you can just pull. So it's kind of a cutter, but it obviously isn't a big enough blade for the TSA to complain about it.
I've never seen one of those. That's
no, I've never seen that.
And I wear this all the time. If I can't take the Leatherman with me, the regular Leatherman tool, I'll take this with me on my wrist.
Yeah.
And again, I'm equipped for anything, and I've used this quite a number of times when I've needed a wrench.
Very cool.
Wow. Yeah. That's all
so,
right.
Just for general preparedness, this is just a great thing to have.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we got some exciting times coming up here, guys, with Huntsville in just a few days, and
yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I look forward to this. The day
One
after.
of my favorites. I added 3 hours to the trip, but I'm still looking forward to it.
Yeah, yeah. All right. I tell you what, everybody stand by. We'll be right back in about a minute, and we're going to get into this. I've got several things here. Hey, I think. Brett, you want to talk more about the amp or something, or show us that tonight?
Well, sure. This is I'll be glad to show it to you. I got a little piece of equipment for free that I'd be glad to show to everybody.
Okay, cool.
About.
I like free stuff here. All right, so we'll be back in a minute, guys. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Upgrade your station with one of ICOM's fabulous HF radios. With the IC 7610, faint signals are no longer challenging for DXers or contesters. The high-performance RMDR can pick out the faintest signals, even in the presence of stronger adjacent signals. This is the SDR every ham wants. With ICOM's IC 905 Mobile, VHF contesting is a breeze. This is an all-mode rig covering 5 bands with one radio. 2 meters, 70 centimeters, 1.2 gigs, 2.4 gigs, 5.6 gig, and with the optional CX10G transceiver, it will also cover 10 gigs. This radio features a large touchscreen with real-time, high-speed spectrum scope and waterfall display, easy D-Star settings, and a separate controller and RF module configuration to reduce signal loss. Explore the world of microwave with the IC905. For more information on ICOM radios or dealer locations, go to icomamerica.com/amateur. Upgrade your station with one of ICOM's fabulous HF radios. With the IC7610, faint signals are no longer challenging for DXers or contesters. The high-performance RMDR can pick out the faintest signals, even in the presence of stronger adjacent signals. This is the SDR every ham wants. With ICOM's IC905 Mobile, VHF contesting is a breeze. I'm clicking all kinds of the wrong buttons tonight, man. Yeah, I think I was watching. I wasn't watching the thing. I think the ICOM thing ran twice there, just about. So I stopped it. I was looking at it over on YouTube. Something funny going on about YouTube with it, I think. I don't know. It didn't look right on YouTube. Yeah, but we're looking okay on YouTube. So I don't know if they're doing something to it or not. Not YouTube, Facebook. Oh, gee. It's getting real complicated, guys. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter tonight, all three simultaneously. So I'm trying to kind of monitor each one to see how it's looking. I've been real happy. The video and the recordings have been just great on all three of them the last couple weeks here. All right, so we're back, and tonight I'm going to talk about, in a minute, I'm going to talk about a remote base that I put together here using Ham Radio Deluxe. Pretty simple to put together. I threw this video together this afternoon. I'll tell you more about that in a little while. So let's get back to Brett there. And Brett, go ahead and pull that freebie out and let's look at it. Tell us what it is, man.
Okay, well, fellow was getting rid of a box of electronic junk, and I wasn't sure there was anything that was worthwhile, and kind of dug to the bottom of the box, and he said, oh, there's this big black thing here, and I don't know what it is. And sure enough, I took a look at it, and it is a big black thing with a big black heat sink on it. Then I turned it over and looked at the side, and I looked at the label. And what we have here is this stamped metal label, and it says RF power amplifier. Mode FM, frequency 136 to 136-17 megahertz. That's VHF.
Yeah.
And looks like it's mobile because it takes 13.8 volts.
Yeah.
Input power 1 watt. Output power 35 watts. And by the time I got to the bottom of reading this label, I got interested. It looks like this is a good way of taking an HT and turning it into a mobile rig if you mount this thing in your car.
Sure. Yeah.
And and again, he didn't know what to do with it, and it was just, oh well, take it if you want it. I'm just gonna throw it out if you don't take it. And so I took a look at at the what I need to do to make it work. And if you take a look at this end of the device, what you can see is they put some kind of power connector on here, just a Molex connector, but I'm going to have to replace this with the standard Aries Races power poles so that it's easy to hook up to things. And then the input and output, well, I have to move this up a little so you can see it. It's got standard, SM239s. So it looks like what I've got here is a free power amplifier. TPL, it's made by TPL Communications, and I don't know if it's a great power amplifier or whether it'll really put out the full 35 watts or if it'll distort. But if I can find a good signal analyzer, hopefully I can drive it with different amounts of power and see what it does and see if it produces a clean signal. If it does, again, I just got a valuable amplifier for free, so that's kind of a nice find.
That is cool. And what's the power rating?
Well, it's rated, according to the label, as 35 watts output with 1 watt of input.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
So
that
I'll
was
have to
a very...
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, that was a very common amplifier back in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
I had one way back then.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
so those work very well.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think maybe this is 136 to 170 something. It looks
I
Did
think we
Brett?
lost his
like an
audio.
external amplifier for GMRS. Probably not.
Yeah, that number's usually 174 for that 136 to 174.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
But,
your GMRS is going to be up in the 460s,
Yeah.
465.
Yeah, oh, that's right. I'm not going to be able to use it up there. But I can definitely use it on the VHF ham band.
You sure
And,
can.
Oh, absolutely.
Sure can.
That's what I'm going to test it on, and then that's what I'm looking to use it for. So, should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
Nothing beats free.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, very good. I'm going to bring up a video here I just did a while ago, a few minutes ago. Trying to get something for the show tonight. Was running late. I don't know why I'm so busy, but hadn't had a lot of time lately. This is, we're going to talk about, I've done several remote bases, guys, that we've had here on the show. And this is a really easy one, and it works really well. And I'm thinking, okay, if I'm thinking about taking some trips here in the future. I might want to just turn a remote base on and do a little hamming, without having to take it with me. Also, this is kind of cool. I've used this going to Dayton, and instead of having a big whip antenna on the truck and ignition noise and fuel pump noise and all that kind of stuff and getting your rig stolen, it was real easy just to take a little tablet. Take a tablet and mount it right there on the dash, and that's your radio, man. If you got internet in a truck, which most people do, one way or the other through a hotspot or something, and it's right there. Using the tablet, you got all bands. Plus, guess what? You got an antenna up 40, 50 feet up in a tree, and you don't have all that road noise and everything. So anyway, this video is probably about 12 or 13 minutes long, and I'm gonna give you kind of an overview of a remote base that I just put back together to get working here for me. I haven't used it in a while, but it's fairly good. So here we go. Let me see if I can get it started here. Hey, I want to talk to you tonight about operating remote base and how I set up a remote base here. So when I'm away from home, I can still operate HF with just a few simple things here. And I'm going to show you how you can use some free programs to do it, with exception maybe Ham Radio Deluxe. But I've got a TS570 here that I've just dedicated to my remote base. It's next to my satellite station here. But this is my remote base right here. And you can access the remote base a couple of different ways. You can access the remote base through a computer screen, like your laptop screen, or maybe a tablet. Or you can even, plug your phone in here and put it in, and you can access the HF rig from your telephone, and walk around and work HF from your telephone. So I'll tell you a little about how we do it. First I'm going to get into kind of a safety deal I've built up to show you how I protect the radio when I'm gone. In other words, if it's lightning or storming or whatever. Because you don't want to leave the antenna on it all the time, especially if you're gone, got to the store or whatever. So I want to show you a picture here. I drew a picture. Let's look at this picture right here. And it's a real simple thing. We got our 110 volt coming in here, and I'm using a little device called a Wemo. It's just a Wi-Fi switch. You can buy these things for about $12, I think. So this Wi-Fi switch here, I can turn this switch on anywhere in the world just from my telephone. So that's how I turn my power on to my remote base, through this Wi-Fi Wemo switch. Now, this switch then turns on and it gives you 110 volts output. and it goes into my radio power supply, which then of course hooks over into my remote-based radio. I'm also taking power, when this is turned on, I'm also taking power down here to an antenna switch relay that I built. And what this does is when the power is on, the antenna is connected to the radio. Here's the antenna. It goes through the relay and back to the radio. But when this power switch, this Wi-Fi switch is turned off, my radio turns off, my power supply turns off, and this relay disconnects the antenna, and it grounds the antenna to ground to help me give me some lightning protection. So this is basically my system. Of course, the radio connects through a serial cable or a USB cable to a computer that you're using here. Let's talk a little about how this thing works. So let's turn it on. I'm going to show you how to turn this thing on. So I've got the Wemo app here on the phone. I'm going to hit Wemo app, and there's the Wemo app coming up right there. Okay, and we should have several listed. There's a remote ham shack listed. Now I want you to watch the radio over here. This radio is going to light up. When I turn it on, when I turn the Wemo on, the Wi-Fi, it's going to turn the radio on. Watch this. Here we go. All right, you can see it says hello, so it came on. And it's turned green. And I can also, hey, when I get ready to turn it off, I just hit the button. It turns everything off, and it grounds the antenna. So I'm going to turn it back on. All right, we're back on. Okay, so that's the first step. Now, I'm not going to get into how to configure the radio and everything. I'm just giving you the basics tonight. We'll get into configuring your program a little later. So I'm going to take my laptop here, and I'm using a program called, I'm sure many of you are familiar with, TeamViewer. It's free until you use it so much then they want to charge you. But there's an alternative to TeamViewer, and that's called anydesk. It works just like TeamViewer, and it's free, and it gives you access, remote access to anywhere you have it set up. So I'm going to bring up on my computer here, I'm going to bring up the anydesk. So let me see if I can find it. There it is. I'm going to bring up anydesk, and I'm going to connect. I've got anydesk running over here on my other computer where the radio is. So I'm just going to double click and connect here, and it's saying it's connecting. And okay, did it connect? I guess it connected. It did connect. Now I'm seeing this screen is actually what I'm seeing on the computer. It's hooked to the radio over there. So that's step one. Now I have control. Look over at the radio. I'm moving the mouse remotely, so you can see I'm here on my laptop, but I have control of my computer. Now the other thing is we're going to use Skype for audio. Skype is free, and you can set Skype up to auto answer. It's a little toggle you can turn on. It's kind of hidden down in the setup, but you can turn Skype on where it will auto answer. So I'm going to call that machine with Skype. We're going to use Skype for our audio, back and forth audio, because Skype has some really good quality audio. I'm going to do a call. And, okay, it answered. It answered. Okay, very good. All right, so what we've got here is we've got our Skype connection. Now, one thing about it, you have to make you up 2 Skype accounts, but you can do that with a different email address. So, you know, you can't call your own number. So you make you a Skype over there. I'm calling it KUB remote. And here's my other Skype here. Just my regular Skype. All right, so we've got Skype connected. Now I don't need to do anything right now. I'm just going to move Skype out of the way here. I'm just going to move it down here over the side because we're just using that for audio only. Now let's bring up over there on our computer. We can do it remotely here. For instance, let's bring up Ham Radio Deluxe, which is right here, and you should see it over here at the radio, the remote base. It should come up. Maybe there it comes. Okay, there it is, right there. So Ham Radio Deluxe came up. So now we have a connection with the radio. with Ham Radio Deluxe. We're running audio across Skype, and we're using anydesk to actually control everything. Now watch this. Now here I am on, let's just say I'm on vacation somewhere. I've got my laptop here, and there's the frequency. Now look at this here. You've got every control that the radio has. For instance, here are your different bands. There's 80, 40, 30, 20, 17 meters. So if you click on them, what it's going to do, it's going to change it. Now, if you listen real closely when you click on it, you're going to hear Morse code. Now, right now I'm going to click on 20, and listen, you should hear a U for upper. Did-da-da. I don't know if you heard that or not. Let's go to 40. You already hear a L for lower, which is going to put in the lower sideband. Did it. Now listen. Okay, so it put it on lower sideband. Okay. Now, you can take your mouse and you can move the slider like this, or you can put your cursor up here on the frequency, and you can actually turn the mouse. Let's see if I can find somebody here. 40 is not very good right now. Let me turn. Let's see. We'll find somebody. Let's go to 20 meters. All right, we're on 20, and let's go up about mid-band, right there. Okay. I'm just turning the mouse.
I think those were the three. No, not Texas. He's gonna slaughter him in Texas. It's Arizona. He's got to win Pennsylvania.
Okay, let's see if we can find somebody else. We're gonna use a mouse to tune. We'll turn the volume down a little. We're gonna use a mouse. There we go.
Very comfortable conditions finally here in New York. It's been a very
Now if we notice, we got all the buttons here. For instance, right here, we've got any button on the radio. There's a noise blinker. I'm gonna click on noise blinker.
Tonight, so the weather finally broke about yesterday.
I'm gonna unclick on it. You got your Vox, you got compression, you got the preamp on and off. I'm toggling the preamp right now, on and off. Let's see. Let me turn it down a little. Let's hit the preamp here. Okay, let's look over here on the radio dial, and I'm gonna turn the preamp on and off remotely. I think I'm going to. See, it said preamp on, preamp off. Okay. All right, now. Okay, I'm going to turn that down a little, and I'm going to get off the frequency. Okay. All right, that sounds like a pretty clear spot there. I'm just going to take a headset, and I'm going to plug in just the microphone. We'll plug in just the mic. You can plug in the headset too if you want to. I've selected mic in, okay. And, okay. So, I've got a transmit button here. I haven't programmed this totally. I think I'll be able to program it where I can hit the space bar for transmit and space bar to release transmit. But I'm going to hit the transmit button, and you'll see what happens here. Right now, we're signal level 0. We're getting feedback. Okay. You saw I put it in transmit. Okay, you can change this to read SWR and different things. Let me put SWR on there. I think now if we, hit transmit, it should go to, it's going to SWR. So that's showing me SWR on transmit. I come off, I unkey, then I go back to just signal strength. And let me tune somebody in. See if I can find a good station here. Oh. Here's somebody going to fine tune him.
Okay, yeah, I understand. This Oma phone or whatever, do you still have it, or do you?
Another thing, as I said a minute ago, the Hamburger Deluxe, of course, gives you all your controls. Like here's RF gain. If I take the RF gain, let me turn this volume down. If I turn the RF gain slider up and down, I'm actually changing. Look at the radio over here now. I'm going to take the RF gain up and down, and you'll see it's controlling the RF gain right there. Okay. All right, let's come back over here and look right here. RF power, 100. I'm on 100 watts right now. I can set the power. There's 75 watts right there. Let's go back to 100 watts. You got your Vox. You got other things you can do here. Now, when you change different bands, of course, your fine tuning comes up right here, and the coarse tuning comes up down here. Again, you can move the slider.
Okay, yeah.
Let's see.
So, were you able to?
You can move the
import a phone
slider.
number into that.
Is it 317? You can move the slider with the coarse. You can move the slider with the fine. Or you can just tune it right here. There you go. Okay. All right. So that kind of gives you an idea of how the remote base works. Again, you can use your telephone and walk in the neighborhood and be on HF, or use your computer if you're out on vacation somewhere. So it works pretty good. And the fact that my antenna switches on and off when I turn the power on and off, that's a plus, I think. I surely didn't want to leave the antenna on there all the time. All right, we'll get in later, if you have questions, how to set up your Ham Radio Deluxe software to match your radio. Ham Radio Deluxe matches nearly every radio. You just go into the menu and you pull down Kenwood, you pull down TS570, and of course you got to get the communications working just like you would for FT8 or anything else. You have to set the baud rate and the COM port, but that's pretty easy to do. So that's my remote base, and I'm sticking to it. All right. Okay,
Hey,
yeah, Brett, you had a
tonight
question
about operating remote base
Yep,
and
that's
how I
stopping.
set up a remote.
There we go.
Well, I had a few questions.
Yeah, yeah.
When I work using those old Kenwoods, and our club has several of them, so we use them for field day, I find that one of the best ways to bring in a tough signal is to turn the little knob that says IF shift on it, that shifts your IF frequency just a little bit. It improves the frequency response, and sometimes you can make out things you couldn't make out otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have control of that remotely?
I'd have to go look. All those buttons, you can designate what buttons you want, because Kenwood and ICOM, all these people, for various functions controls, they have this character string that sets it, and you can go into this software and you can say, make this button IF shift, and the code for that is at dash asterisk or something like that. And when you hit that button, it actually does the IF shift button. You asked about tune earlier in your chat room. Yeah, the tune button works, attenuate works, all those buttons work that are on there. All the sliders work. And most all of them that you need are probably there, and you can add your own.
Yep. Is there anything that's a knob on the front panel that you can't get to digitally, or?
There's not hardly any knobs on the TS570 there. It's just you got your volume and squelch and RF gain and RIT. But no, I think you can get to all those. You can get to your RF gain, your AF gain, RIT. You can get to everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty neat. I think there may have been at one time. I know you have to buy a Ham Radio Deluxe, but I think there may be one of the earlier versions that is free. If you're interested,
there are still several free versions out there.
If you're interested, you might just check on that. AnyDesk is the remote control software I use. So I don't run Ham Radio Deluxe on my laptop or my tablet. It only runs on the PC that's connected to the radio. So I just use AnyDesk to see that screen that's on the PC at the radio, and control it that way. AnyDesk is free. TeamViewer. A lot of you may know what TeamViewer is. Again, it's remote control software, and typically it's free, except they're getting kind of picky. They'll like my wife, Kathy, we will use it occasionally from North Carolina to get back into her PC here at the house, and they finally flagged her and says, "You're a commercial user. You need to pay for commercial usage." So we just went with AnyDesk. AnyDesk does the very same thing. It's free. Skype is free, and Skype really has good audio both ways, and you don't need the camera. You can set it for auto answer, so it works out pretty good. And that little the Wemo I'm talking about, I'm sure most people are familiar with what it is, but here's a Wemo right here, guys. That's all it is. You can buy these, Amazon, whatever, and it's just we've got like 10 or 15 around the house here, and that's programmed into your Wemo account. Again, it's free, but I've got one called Remote Shack. And on my phone, I just hit Remote Shack, and this turns the power on and off to my remote radio.
Oh, well, I like this setup. It's a lot less expensive than getting, say, a K4 or a Flex. Those, of course, those high-end radios have remote control built in from the start.
Yeah. Now I at one time was going to get a Flex, and I just never did. But I've got friends that have me in their will to give me their Flex. He's on here sometimes, and I keep reminding you of that, make sure I'm still in the will. But they've got a deal called Maestro. I think that's what is the remote control piece, and it just logs into your internet, and you get the dial on it and everything. It's just like it's connected, but it's connected through the internet.
Mm-hmm. And and I don't know I think they have it, and so does and also again on the K4, you can also buy a remote control panel which looks like the front panel of the radio, and connect that to the internet wherever you go. And so you don't just have the audio, you also have the look and feel of the front panel.
Oh, now that's slick.
Yeah. Well, I've got several ICOM radios here in addition to the Kenwood, like the 7610, the 7300, 9700, and so forth. But they make a remote control software. ICOM has remote control software that you could buy. I never bought it. It's it may be $100 or something like that. But their radios actually have Ethernet ports on the back of them. Where you can just plug them into a network, run that software. I just didn't want to take a new $1,000 radio or a $3,000 radio and make it my remote, because you never know what's going to happen if you're gone. What if it gets stuck in FSK, and it's running there for like 8 days, or something happens, and so I take some of my older rigs like the TS2000 or the TS570, both interface really well to this. And but ICOM does make that software. I've never tried it. I assume it works pretty good. Somebody in the chat room may have it. I'm sure it's probably very popular. So if anybody in the chat room has the ICOM remote software, let us know. But yeah, I've had a lot of fun with that. Sometimes I'll go walking around the block here in the neighborhood, and I can just take my phone and I log on to remote base and operate right there off my Android phone. And it works pretty good. And the cool thing is, you got all bands, you got your antenna up. I've got, on this one, on the remote base, I put an off-center fed antenna on it because that's much better for all, multiple band operations. So that's what I have on the remote base. And of course, as you mentioned, the tuner does work. If I just click the tune button, it'll click, 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 and it'll tune right to it. But the off-center antenna is pretty close. It would probably operate okay without tuning it. But I'm limited to 100 watts. Some of the new amps out there, and I'm not familiar with many of them, but like the MFJ, they have one that's auto band select. You hook it to your rig, and if you change bands, the amplifier changes bands. And I think they're solid state, of course. They don't require any tuning, so that'd be kind of cool to put some power on your remote base.
Yeah, ICOM has this convention where different voltages on a line that goes to the amplifier control how much what band it's on.
Yeah.
And then other manufacturers have different ones, but most of the amp manufacturers have settings that let you say, I have this brand of rig, and therefore use this set of voltages to determine that.
Yeah. All right, let's see. I'm gonna do this tonight. We might not get any calls, but I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna open the phone lines tonight just to see if anybody wants to call in. We paid what, $182,500 for our 1,000-line telephone system, and people just don't want to call it. I don't know why. So I'm going to turn our phone system on right and see if we can get some use out of it. So we probably had 20 people call it. Now 20 into $186,000. That's probably about, I don't know. That's about $8,000 per call. So, guys, we got to do better. We need some calls here.
Brad, I think we need to hit him up for a raise.
Yeah.
If he can afford the phone line, he can afford us.
All right, let's see. Join with computer. Continue. Okay. Join the meeting. Here we go. All right, let me put the number up on the screen, guys.
You are the only participant in the conference.
Oh, did you hear that? I'm the only participant. There's the phone lines right there, guys. If you will, let me turn that down. That's kind of, I wish I could put our own music on there. All right, guys, come on. We need some people to call us. 716-427-1083. Put the code 40705 £1, and you can talk with Glenn or Brett. Give us a call.
And while we're in the lull here, go ahead, Tom.
I was going to say, and if you don't call, this is what you have to listen to. Come on, give us a call.
Yeah. And while we're in the lull, I was going to say my forum is Saturday at 10 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
At Huntsville. Of course, it's on the Arduino. The title is Close Encounters of the Microcontroller Kind, but it's actually not the one I had planned. It's a updated version of my current forum to reflect recent developments, but because, with last year, the job change, the move, and everything else, I just did not have time to put together the forum I wanted, so I'll have that for next year. But still, forum's going to be good this year. We'll probably have some giveaways from ARRL and possibly FazeDoc and whoever else I run into there. Maybe Tom will give me a raise and I'll give away some cash. I don't know.
We may do it. I think we're going to have to give away some cash here to get somebody to call in.
There you go.
All right. If anybody wants to call right now, we're up to 25 cents. Give us a call and we got a call. Man, look at here. Oh, that's fast, man.
Somebody's out a quarter.
You tell them we're going to pay them and they answer. Who's on the line?
Phil, AG40.
Hey, Phil, how you doing, man?
Oh, I'm doing great. Hopefully, I got hand-back letter today.
Oh, Phil won the $25 gift certificate, I think, last week, and Hambot sent him a letter. So, hey, great. And hey, it was good seeing you at the Nashville Hamfest.
Yeah. It was nice to see you and say hi to you, Glenn.
Yeah. Are you gonna be at Huntsville?
No, unfortunately, Huntsville is just a little too far from me.
Yeah.
I'm up north of in Kentucky, so.
Yeah, it might be. Oh, I thought we had another call. Okay, very good. Well, just hang in
Nashville.
there. Hang in here, Phil. Hang in here. Yeah, okay, guys. We're still offering 25 cents for you to call in. Phil, we're good for it. Don't worry, man. When I
Now, Nashville was a pretty fun ham fest too. I liked that break as well. So that was kind of nice.
Yeah, let's see. I could put.
Of course, Tom won the very first raffle drawing of the day there in Nashville.
Yeah. That was. I wasn't expecting that.
No, that was. Especially since they weren't selling tickets. You did that on a single ticket.
Yeah,
I was impressed.
Yeah, but I showed the guys right there when they gave me a ticket. I said, "This is a special fold right here," and I stuck it in the thing. And the only thing is, they do their tickets different. Like at Huntsville.
Yeah.
At Huntsville, when you win something, they stick your ticket back in the barrel. You might get another chance. Well, in Nashville, after I won, I don't know if they do this for everybody or not, but they handed me my ticket.
No, they gave it just that you're special, Tom. They know they don't want you in the drawing anymore, so they
that
bought
might
you
have
off.
been. Yeah, they handed me back the ticket. I'm thinking, oh, aren't you gonna put it back in?
Nope. They bought you off so that the rest of us stood a chance.
Yeah. Hey, we got somebody in Bartlett calling. Bartlett? Is that right? Who we got on the phone there? Who we got?
I'm still here.
Leslie. Is that Leslie? Is there a Leslie? Oh, they left. They were on there.
Yeah, that audio sounded pretty rough.
Yeah, I think they had a bad connection there. Phil's not sounding too bad. Right there.
You can hear me. It sounds like you're getting a lot of feedback somewhere.
Hey, Phil. I might need to adjust our. Am I clear to you, or am I too loud? I'm probably too loud.
You're real loud.
Okay, I can fix that. I can fix it. I need to click there. And I need to maybe there. No. All right.
Yeah, Nashville was kind of fun because that was Saturday and I went and closed on the new house on Monday. So that was a busy weekend. It's been a crazy last couple weeks, actually.
Yeah, let me fix this. Let's see. Now I got to go to input. Input. There's output. There's input. Okay. Input. I got to go to device. Manage sound devices. Device properties. Boy, they make it difficult, don't they? Okay. Volume. Turn it down a little bit. There we go. Hey, Phil, does that sound better now?
Oh, a whole lot better.
Yeah, you can hear me
I'm
now, right?
overdriving
Yeah.
everything.
We were at
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we were at 110%. Kind of like the space shuttle, when they take off, we're at 110% throttle. I don't know how that's possible, but yeah. So, yeah, I don't know why I didn't save this. Okay, we got another call. This is
Okay, I'll get off and you take your other call.
Oh, yeah, hey, we can take 1,000 people, man. We can take 1,000 people. Who's the caller?
Larry N0RIC.
Did you get that?
Yeah, N0RIC.
Oh, okay, yeah. One of our longtime watchers, Arkansas, right? Or Missouri?
No, Zero Boot Hill.
Yeah, Missouri, Missouri Boot Hill. Hey, you're close enough. You're close enough, man. Yeah. All right.
I'm just through from the Arkansas line.
Okay. You probably couldn't understand me earlier when you called in. That's probably really distorted really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I sent a message to Glenn earlier, and you might be interested. At Crowley's Ridge linked network system. They have a tower there in Memphis.
Yeah. A link to Crowley's Ridge from Memphis.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that's going to be interesting to check out.
That's a pretty good distance.
I'm looking forward to meeting all the new hams over here and going to some club meetings and stuff. So this is going to be fun.
All right. So, hey, if you want to make a quarter, guys, the lines are still open. Call us for 25 cents. And
can I do that?
You've got to find me, though. You've got to find me in Huntsville for you to get paid. Okay?
Oh, I'll find you in Huntsville. Yeah, here. Let me get my quarter.
Well, no, you're not eligible. Didn't you read the fine print in your contract?
What, the one that says I don't get any money and I have to pay you?
Yeah, and that any promotional things we do or anything, you don't get any of it. If you did win it, you do have to give it back. So, yeah.
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 Story of my life.
All right. Hey guys, give us a call, 716-427-1083. The code is 407051. And we can take 1,000 calls simultaneously. Let's stress test this tonight. I think I'm looking at Brett there. His eyes are going down like he's dialing on his telephone. I don't know what's going on.
He might not have signed his contract yet.
That's right.
Oh, I'm watching the chat and and putting things off. Emails are coming in and I'm putting them aside for later.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what. I went without a PC for 10 days. Lived off my phone. I was so happy to get my phone. And believe it or not, I got the PC back online not more than 10 minutes before I got a PDF file that I had to read and sign, and that's horrible to do on a phone.
Oh wow! Was it related to the sale of your house or
yes.
the new one? Yeah,
no, I had to sign some stuff for my for the realtor on the old house. Because we changed a few things up.
Yeah. How's the market? You going to sell it quick?
I really don't know. I'm thinking it's priced to sell quick. I've seen some of the comparables, and we talked this over, and I think it's going to go very quickly myself. So I'm hoping this way I can afford to buy tickets at Huntsville and stuff. And still deciding whether I'm flying or driving to Dayton this year, and of course Orlando I fly to.
Yeah.
But
I'll probably go back to Dayton next year. It's I've only been there once, and now that now they're set up so nicely in Xenia, it's gonna be a lot more pleasant than going to Hara Arena.
Well, did you go to Hara before? Or did you go to Xenia? Where'd you go?
The one time I went just when they were starting at Xenia.
Okay.
And apparently they built a whole new building and made a whole lot of improvements since then.
Yes, they've done a great deal. Well, you went probably the first year, and that was when the mud pit was out in the flea market.
Yeah.
I mean, Tom's got video of me. I was literally up to my knees in mud.
I'll have to pull those pictures up. Well, we went to Dayton 40 straight years, and I honestly liked Hara better. I really did.
I don't know. I've got mixed feelings. Of course, I didn't get to Hara until the very end. Once you got to know your way around Hara, it was okay. The flea market was pretty good, but that flea market, the asphalt turned into the lunar surface, and it would wear you out, tear up your shoes, and it was just horrible. I like the flea market at Xenia better.
Yeah.
But I did like the fact that Hara had air conditioning, and Xenia, the buildings are only fan cooled. They don't have air conditioning, so on a really hot day, it gets bad in there.
Yeah,
but the flip side, I do love the Xenia. I love the The food, I mean, my gosh, they have so much different choices in food as compared to, I mean, come on, at Harry, you had a choice of cardboard pizza, hot dog, and whatever else.
They didn't have the bourbon chicken and
No, and
fancy stuff.
the pork chop sandwich, and oh no, it was no. I much prefer the food at
I
Xenia.
think at Huntsville, I mean, they do have an inside vendor that sells right there. You know, the little corrugated window comes up, and you can buy hot dogs and stuff there. But I think they do have a vendor that comes outside and sells, for a couple hours there around lunchtime.
I don't know.
I have to look that up and see.
Well, the Embassy Suites had a really nice breakfast.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, that is. Oh man, I love that, man. I won't miss their breakfast.
No, I'm going to make sure I get my reservation in early for next year. Not going to miss Embassy Suites next year.
Well, I would imagine, not that I'm saying you should do this, it probably wouldn't be ethical. But if you came by the embassy early, I imagine you could go back here and get breakfast. I imagine you could get breakfast because the last year or two or three I've been there, they haven't checked anything. And when we were up at Hara, we stayed at there were all kinds of hotels right there on that strip. I forget now what they were, but there was one hotel that always had free breakfast here. And all the hams I knew that stayed in the hotels next door, they all came over and had breakfast, man.
Yep.
They always did that.
Well, now in Xenia, the crazies have sort of staked out the big boy.
Well, they've been going here a long time, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in a really nice bed and breakfast in downtown Xenia, so that's generally where I have breakfast with a couple of the other hams that stay there. Really nice place.
The crazies have tried to recruit us for many years. We were always next door to them outside in the flea market for like 20 years. And we'd webcast for them, and they would, we'd take our flooring there to keep out of the water, and they would store our floor, and they'd bring the floor to us. And I had one guy, we ran internet out in the flea market, and it got where one of the guys up there would bring me a big batteries like came out of an army tank, and we would use those batteries, to power our stream. As I told you before, we used to always get sandbags, and they'd always take them every year because we didn't want them after it was over with. And the guy filled his barn up with sandbags. So I don't know. I never did buy the shirt. I never did become a vice president. I always kind of rejected it. They keep thinking I'm a member, but I'm really not a member.
Yeah, they'll make you a vice president if you let them.
Yeah.
But no, I'm really stoked for Huntsville this year. It's just, I'm ready. I need the break. It kind of marks the end of the hectic time. Once I get back from Huntsville, there's nothing on my calendar other than product reviews, meetings. We're in discussions for 6 more books, believe it or not. And and believe it or not, we actually have topics and projects for that.
Yeah.
And then there's another, let's just say there's another little something going on, and I'm trying to get us the guest to come on and talk about it. I'll actually firm that up possibly next week, and we can have them on real soon to discuss another really cool new project that's kicking off.
Okay.
And of course, this is all Arduino and microcontroller based stuff.
Yeah. Hey, Glenn, I've got an idea for you, man. Memphis always runs a bus over there on Saturday. They go early Saturday morning and back. Of course, you've lived here, you know that. I think I saw the email yesterday. $120. I think it's $120. They take you over there early in the morning. They give you a lunch bag with some food and snacks in it.
Yep.
You get to stay all day at the hamfest, and then you head back, and if they had any food left over, they give it to you on the way back. And you don't have to drive, you can sleep, you don't have to buy gas, you know.
I'm seriously considering that for next year. Yes.
You know, well, man,
This year, I'm going over Friday, stopping at the old place and getting a load of some things that need to come over here. Otherwise, yes, I would take the bus.
You can come over to your house, spend the night there, and get the bus the next morning.
Thought about that too, and no, I'm geared up the way I am.
Yeah.
I've got a room there in Huntsville, so I'm all set.
Well, that's true. Yeah, you got a room. Yeah.
But next year, yeah, the plans are going to be a little bit different next year, and part of that is I'm still going back and forth between here and Memphis about every 3 or 4 days until the house is sold, and once that's done, then my enjoy what I've got set up going on time starts. A lot more relaxed, a lot slower kind of thing going on until I start writing the books.
Good dinner spots. I don't know. You know, they used to have right there in the hotel. They used to have a what's that fancy restaurant they used to have in at the
Ruth's Chris.
They used to have a Ruth's Chris there, but that set you back some big money, man. But they moved out. They do have a restaurant in there. You have to get reservations now. But you know, Brett, we ate at that little what do you call it? That bar type restaurant thing down at the very end of the Civic Center, I think last year. Yeah, we ate there. Yeah.
There is one restaurant at the convention center, not counting anything that might be in the hotel, and then about 5 blocks away there's sort of a restaurant row, which I haven't been to. Might want to visit that next time.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Yeah, we're probably just gonna stay in a hotel and not worry about getting out. I might go to a movie one night, especially if we're staying an extra day there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Now, this year it's a short trip because, like I say, I've got some things going on Sunday that I need to be back. But after that, things start to slow down a little bit, and that's when the fun starts. That's when that desk gets cleaned off. And when you see that desk clean, it's time to look out because stuff is happening.
Yeah.
Well, I have some Arduino projects. I may be looking into your books for Code to Crib.
There you go. Not a problem. Actually, I have heard the new book actually, I'm pretty sure it will be at Huntsville from ARRL. Mm-hmm. I don't know if they'll have the Elector book. I will have a copy of it, of course, but I have not even seen my new book from ARRL. Mm-hmm. It's been held up. You know, my copies of it have been held up until they knew where to ship them to. So, but yeah, my understanding is that ARRL will have my new book there at Huntsville, at least to display, if nothing else. But yeah, it's going to be fun. And Chris, that has been a problem. I don't have the soothing sound of Memphis gunfire to put me to sleep at night, but I'll manage. You know, I'll find a way. It'll work. But I tell you, it is a different lifestyle over here. If nothing else from the driving standpoint, Tom, I'm sure you can relate. As soon as I get to the middle of that Mississippi River Bridge, either on I-55 or I-40, I kind of just breathe a sigh of relief because the traffic gets all nice and organized and smooth, and everybody starts getting courteous, and it's a pleasant drive once I get across that bridge.
Yeah.
But man, getting to that bridge, it's like, it's you're fighting for every inch of turf along the way.
Well, I live way up here at the headwaters of the Mississippi.
There you go.
So yeah, I can cross the river, but it's not. I guess it's not like it is down there. I live in Laramie, and the Laramie River leads into the Platte River. The Platte River leads into the Missouri River, and the Missouri River leads into the Mississippi, where it joins it at Kansas City. So here's where it starts.
Yes.
I was worried here that Brett was going to say something about the Arkansas River. Now we know it's not the Arkansas River; it's the Arkansas River.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, people they don't understand it. I don't know why.
Nope. But let me tell you, it is really a very different drive once you cross that river. I mean, first of all, the trucks are at 70 and cars are at 75, so everybody just kind of really lets you go at your own pace kind of deal. And of course, Tom, as you well know from the videos you watch, you do not go 76.
Well, I was going to say,
75.
you just named some speed limits. I'm going to say some of them drive about 145, 150.
For a little while.
You get around Lone Oak, he claims to have the fastest car in Arkansas, 160 in the chase. That's his record, 160.
One time.
Yeah. Oh,
But yeah, I mean, that's the one thing, if you're doing 76 and you pass one, you really wonder, is it worth that extra mile an hour?
Well, you were talking about how people just are really nice and they pull over. I've noticed watching the Arkansas State Police, when they're in these high-speed chases, 150, 155 miles an hour, people are they're just pulling off the road and giving them room, man. I mean,
yes, sir.
The road just opens up, man, and, it's,
Yeah, we want to see a good video out of that deal. We'll get out of the way.
Yeah. We had an Arkansas State trooper come on here on the show, in the chat room one night, and I pulled up one of the videos and popped it on here while he was on here, and he knew who it was, and he had mentioned that Arkansas has this reputation with all the other law enforcement agencies through the United States that they're probably the most aggressive, and that they don't stop for anything,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, to be honest though, once you cross that river, it is a very relaxing drive, and I actually look forward to that kind of a drive, even though it's like 2.5, 3 hour drive.
So let me ask you, do you go across the new bridge? Now, guys, for everybody listening, the new bridge was built about 50 years ago, okay? It was built in 1974, I think. That's the new bridge. So, Glenn, do you go across the new bridge or the old bridge?
Actually, I've done both, and I tell you, I prefer the new bridge, which is I-40.
Yeah.
The old bridge is 55, and the reason is there's doing a lot of construction on 55, and they cut it down to one lane, and it's just not real fun either direction. So I actually go all the way up to 40 and come over on 40.
That strip from the bridge into West Memphis on 55. Ever since I was a little kid coming to Memphis, there was always construction there, always.
Still is. There actually is still construction there as a couple days ago.
Now, the nice thing about the I-40 bridge is they found a big crack that was in it, and I guess they welded it back shut, man,
Yeah, they fixed that, but also they have announced plans for another new bridge south of the old I-55 bridge. They're going to be building a new bridge completely, and I think it's going to be 3 lanes each direction.
Well, that's cool.
That's not going to be for another 20, 30, 40, 50 years.
The old bridge, there's 3 bridges right there where the old bridge is. The old bridge was opened in 1948. That's the old bridge. Next to it is the Harahan Bridge. It was opened in 1894 or 1898, and it had train down the center. And on each side there was an arm that came out on each side of it with a wooden floor. And of course you'd go east one way on one side and you'd come back west on the other side. But that was a wooden floor, and it kind of stuck out on each side of that bridge. And that Mississippi River is pretty wide here, guys. It's several miles wide,
Yeah, that's a lot of wood.
Yeah.
But Yeah, there's actually 2 railroad bridges there next to the I-55 bridge.
I think we need to put a tunnel in. That'd be cool.
That would be fun,
I
yeah.
don't know, though. I'd be afraid it might spring a leak while I was in it. I don't know.
Yeah, but no, they've announced plans for that nice new bridge. But right now, I prefer the 40 bridge. It's much smoother ride, much easier exits and stuff. Problem is, though, I have to go a little further through Memphis and risk having to, patch the bullet holes in the car.
Yeah.
But,
Hey, let me make a quick announcement here. We're just about hitting our time limit for our radio show out of Monticello, Maine. So, guys, if you're listening, you've been listening to Amateur Radio Roundtable, a show about shortwave, ham radio, amateur radio, and we kind of got off on bridges there toward the end. But, hey, we'll talk about anything on here. We did pay somebody a quarter to call in on a phone line tonight. I don't know.
Yep.
We're fixing to sign off. But I'm going to up it to 30 cents. If anybody out there wants 30 cents, dial that number right now before we go off. Thanks for joining us tonight, guys. Hey, join our Facebook group. It's called W5KUB. Come back Tuesday night. Join us for the show again, and we're going to be going to Huntsville this weekend. We're not going to webcast it like we have for probably 20 years or more. But we are going to get some video, get some pictures. We're going to have fun, walk around, buy stuff, And by the way, Glenn, I won there last year. I won a from Gigaparts the Explorer backpack.
That's right. Yeah.
And I've already got it out. It fits real good. I'm gonna be wearing an Explorer backpack there, and if I buy anything, I'm just gonna throw it in my backpack, man.
There you go. Well, and don't forget my forum at 10 o'clock Saturday morning.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Hey, you can actually go to my forum now.
I could, but then I'd miss all the good sales. I'd miss all the good sales.
Yes, that's very true. I'm going to be missing the good stuff, but such is life. I love doing the forums as well. They're fun.
All right, guys. 30 seconds. We're up to 35 cents. We got 30 seconds. If you don't call in 30 seconds, you forfeit the money. I don't think it's going to work.
No, not going to work.
No.
Interesting, they're talking about Houston in the chat room. I almost transferred or was forced to transfer to Houston in 1989. And I said no and went to work for the competition and stayed in Birmingham.
That's where Chris lives now, in Houston area. He lives in Missouri City. Missouri City? Yeah, why didn't he have Missouri City down in Texas? But anyway, he's near Katy and right there on the southwest side of Houston. And he's pretty involved in the hamfest down there. Chris has rounded him up a lot of prizes for their
Very cool.
hamfest. Yeah. All right.
Houston was a traffic nightmare. I was glad not to have to brave that when I moved out.
That was one reason I didn't want to go, is I got on that highway at the outer loop and I said, forget this. It was one of their rain showers that flooded the whole city, and I'm like, I'm out, not interested.
Mm-hmm. Yes, in one of the recent storms, I saw a video on the news, and people were canoeing around the neighborhood I used to live in.
Yeah, no, Houston was just not my kind of place, and it was a forced transfer. It was kind of like, take the transfer because we want to get rid of you and we know you don't want it, so this is our way of getting you to quit.
Yeah, but I went from Houston to Dallas, where I worked for Texas Instruments, and then I went to California. Boy, talk about jumping from the frying pan into the fire. Sounds like my series of bad choices.
All right. Good night to everybody out there who's watching. We're going to go ahead and terminate the show, and we'll see you next week. And I guess Tuesday night, guys, we'll bring the show up from North Carolina, my poor bandwidth over there. So I've got to think what I want to do. If I take some pictures and stuff, maybe I'll try to upload them on, maybe I'll try to, I don't know what I'll do.
Send them to me or Brett, and we can share them.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I can definitely take video. I'm planning to take video on my phone at the hamfest.
Yeah.
Okay, good. And you know what? Your video will be almost as good as mine. You know, almost. And but you know, if I have poor bandwidth, we can surely do your video from your site, and it'll look okay.
There you go.
You just can't do much with 768K up. You know, and
No.
yeah.
My upload here is not really good. I got like 3 or 4 up, but I've got 100 down, so I'm good.
That's not, you know, that'll work for you.
It works.
That'll work. All right, guys, we're turning off here in 3,